Today we're talking about what an estate planning initial consultation is like. And I wanted to address this because first, I think that some people are nervous to go see a lawyer. It's not an everyday occurrence, and so one of the things we want to do is just put people at ease a little bit more about it. An estate planning initial consultation is not a really depressing meeting. It's not designed to make people face their own mortality. What it really is, it's just a planning meeting like anything else. It's educational. That's our goal, is to educate our clients, to give them options about their estate planning so that they can make decisions about what best impacts their family. So the way that our process works is that a potential client will call our firm and schedule an estate planning initial consultation. We will then send them out a questionnaire. The questionnaire is designed to get people thinking about who they would name to be the personal representative or trustee of their estate, or who would be the guardians for their children, who would make their medical decisions if they can't do it for themselves, things like that. You'd complete the questionnaire and bring it with you to our meeting, along with any other important documents that you might have, such as deeds or existing estate planning documents, that type of thing. In our meeting, what we're going to do is just sit down and talk about your concerns and your wishes. And based on that, we'll start to outline some different estate planning options. We'll usually do a lot of education about the differences between wills and trusts, about how assets actually transfer at death, whether that's by beneficiary designation or going through the probate process or through the trust administration process. And we'll talk about how you want to distribute your estate. Who will inherit? How will they inherit? Do we want to put it in trust for people until they reach a certain age? Do we want to give it to them outright and free of trust? These are all different options that we will go over. And then we'll talk about the incapacity side of estate planning. We'll talk about what happens if a person becomes incapacitated. Who will make their financial decisions? Who will make their medical decisions? So that's the general power of attorney, the medical power of attorney. And we will talk about the living will, which is the document where a person decides when do they want life support and artificial nourishment to be removed in an end-of-life situation. And we'll talk about HIPAA and how those laws impact people. And finally, we'll talk about how a person wants their remains handled. Once we've gone through all those concerns and we've made some decisions about how to distribute the estate and who will be in charge of making these decisions, the attorney will quote a fee. We usually bill for estate planning on a flat fee, so we'll quote you a fee and we will give you an engagement agreement that explains exactly what we're doing and the cost. And at that point, you can decide, do you want to go forward or not? If you want to go forward, then you would sign the agreement and then we're off and running. If you don't, then we will send the agreement home with you and you can think about it and decide what you would like to do. In a nutshell, that's it. It's actually pretty straightforward and it doesn't have to be a scary thing. It's really just about making sure that your wishes would be followed and making sure that your family would be taken care of so that during a time of crisis, it's at least not as chaotic as it could be.